Welcome to the Daily Decant, your 5-minute briefing on the world of wine. Each episode delivers practical insights to help you choose, order, and talk about wine with more confidence in everyday social settings. Let's get into today's decant. It's Thursday, and we are doing German Wine Week, and today is the episode that removes the single biggest practical barrier to buying German wine with confidence, the label. German wine labels have a well-deserved reputation for being the most complex and intimidating in the wine world. And it's true. A full traditional German label can contain the producer name, the village name, the vineyard name, the grape variety, the vintage, the Prädikat, designation, and the VDP classification if applicable, and a collection of additional German words that seem designed to test your commitment. But here's the truth. Once you understand the logic of the system, reading a German label is straightforward. So let me walk you through the very first element. The producer name. Always first, always the most important signal of quality, exactly as in every other wine region. In German, a wine producer is called a Weingut, meaning wine estate, and this word often appears before the family name. So Weingut Dr. Lusen means Dr. Lusen Wine Estate. Weingut Egon Müller means the Egon Müller Wine Estate. Once you know which producers are reliable, and we'll cover those in Saturday's episode, this is your primary navigational tool. Next, the village and the vineyard. Traditional German wine labels combine the village name with the vineyard name in a compound word, and the village name first, so the vineyard name second, with the suffix er added to the village name. So the village of Bernkast plus the vineyard Doctor becomes Bernkasteler Doctor. The village of Wehlen plus the vineyard Sonnenur becomes Wehlener Sonnenur. The village of Wiltingen plus the vineyard Scharthoffberg becomes Wildschaftsberg, though this vineyard is famous enough to often appear without the village name. The system is consistent across all traditional German labels, so once you know the ER suffix pattern, you can always identify village from vineyard. The Prädikat designation is next. This is the ripeness and sweetness indicator, and it's the most important element for understanding what kind of wine you're about to open. From driest and lightest to sweetest and richest, Cabernet lightest, most delicate, typically off-dry or barely perceptible sweetness, usually the lowest alcohol wine in the German range. Spätlese, late harvest, richer and more concentrated than Cabernet, often with more obvious fruit and a noticeable but always balanced sweetness. Auslese, selected harvest meaning individual clusters chosen by hand at their peak ripeness, distinctly sweet but always balanced by Riesling's extraordinary acidity. These three are the styles you'll encounter most commonly in good wine shops. Baron Auslese, berry selection, very sweet, made from individually selected overripe berries, often with treatise influence, and produced only in the finest vintages. Trockenbeeren Auslese, often abbreviated TBA, dried berry selection, most concentrated and sweet wine in the German system, essentially liquid honey in a bottle. Extraordinarily rare and expensive, with prices that would rival the world's greatest dessert wines. And Eiswein, ice wine made from grapes frozen on the vine at temperatures of -8 degrees Celsius or colder, the water in the berries freezing, while the concentrated sugar and acid remain liquid, producing intensely sweet and concentrated wine of remarkable freshness. The words Trocken and Halbtrocken, these appear on modern German labels and mean dry and half-dry respectively. If you see Trocken on a label, the wine is fully dry regardless of the Prädikat designation. This matters because a Spätlese Trocken is a dry wine made from a late harvest grape, richer and more concentrated than a Cabernet, but bone dry. VDP and GG. If you see the VDP eagle on the label, the wine is from a member of the quality association we discussed yesterday. If you see GG or Grosses Gewachs, the wine is dry from a top-tier classified vineyard in the German equivalent of a Grand Cru. These are the most serious dry German wines that you can find. Ersoy Grab Foulang means estate bottled. The wine was grown and bottled by the same producer, a quality signal. Vintage year, the alcohol percentage, which on a Mosel Cabernet might be as low as 7.5% and on a dry GG might reach 13%. In the region, Moselle, Rheingau, Rheinhessen, Salz, Nahe, Franken each tell you something about the likely style. That is the complete German wine label. It's very complicated. Every element decoded. And here's the truth about German labels that I want to leave you with. They feel intimidating because they contain more information than almost any other wine label in the world. But that information is a gift. A fully labeled German wine bottle tells you more about what's inside of it than a Burgundy label, a Bordeaux label, or a California label ever will. Once you can read it, the German label is not an obstacle. It's the most honest and specific wine communication system in existence. Embrace the Gothic script. It's on your side. Go to a wine shop, look at a couple of bottles and maybe even use AI to decode what these mean. A little bit of practice there would be helpful probably for you learning a little bit more in the shop itself on what exactly we're looking at. Tomorrow we'll go beyond Riesling, the grapes Germany doesn't get credit for. You won't want to miss it. That's today's Daily Decant. If you found this helpful, be sure to subscribe and share with your friends so you can continue building your wine knowledge in just a few minutes a day. See you tomorrow for the next Decant.